Alright, so we are here with a small numerical, as we have already learned how to find out the backside, foresight, the rise and fall method, the height of the instrument method whatsoever. So we have a numerical where we see that there are certain data which is missing from the record. So, and also on the other side, there are data which is missing. So what we have to do is, with the help of the given set of data, we need to find out what are those missing data. Now, as we have seen from the previous video, that in rise and fall method, you utilizes backside foresight to find out rise. So basically there is a correlation between the side distance, the rise and the RL, isn't it? So you get the rise by the correlation of this, and you get the RL by the correlation of this and the previous RL, right? So everything is actually interconnected to each other. All you have to do is just connect the dots. In the previous case study, whatever we have seen, we actually did a forward calculation from here to here, then here, and finally here. And in this case, we may need to go in a backward direction. From here, you do not know this, but you can find it out and figure it out from here itself. Okay. So to understand the problem, we need to sort and we need to actually figure out the different setup of the instrument. As we can see from here, what do we mean by this? I'm not drawing the figure over here because there is basically no need. You also need to learn, somebody also needs to learn how to read the readings. Okay, let's start. So you can see that there is a backside reading at the station number 1, and right at the station number 2 there is one reading over here and one reading. A human psychology always goes for the first and then it goes to the right, for the left and then the right. But do not make a mistake, because once you have started a setup at backside, the very next one was supposed to be at intermediate site or foresight. Now you can see that the foresight is basically present over here. This means that these and these two are actually one setup. So I'll mark it in this fashion. I'll just mark it so that you do not get confused in this regard. So this is one setup. What is our next setup? You can see that the calculation started from here, it has gone over here, and again it will go over here. So calculation starts, went over here, and again it will go over here. So this becomes the new setup, right? So this, on the other hand, it goes like this, it stays and it stays like this, it stays and stays, it continues, and finally it ends somewhere over here. That is the third setup. This is the identification, what you need to do. The fourth setup is basically you start from a backside and you keep on continuing until you find out the foresight, wherever the foresight is. Yes, I found out a foresight. That is the basically trick. And finally you have the last setup. It starts from a backside, it will go like this, and it will end, sorry, it will end somewhere over here. So I think we are now done with the setup. So there are 1 setup, 2 setup, 3 setup, 4 setup, and 5 setup. That means the instrument has been shifted 5 different times for recording this entire set of data. Now we have to figure out what is what and what is not. Clear? So the first missing data which you get over here is this. Now how do you relate to this? This is nothing but the difference between these two. Now you can see that the difference between these two is actually 3.25 minus 2.75. If I'm not wrong, the backside reading is the first reading and this one is the last reading. From the first to the last, the reading has decreased. In the previous video I said if the reading decreases, that means there has to be a rise. Actually there is a rise. How much is the rise? The difference between them. So what is the thing over here? I should be writing over here from 1 to 2. Rise is equal to how much? Ps minus 4s, which is 3.25 minus 2.75. So how much is it? I do not have a calculator right now, so it must be 0.5. There you have sorted already. It is 0.5, which is this. If this is 0.5, then what will be this one? Isn't it the previous RL plus or minus the fall? Now, if it was fall, it would be this minus fall. Now, since it is under rise, so this will be this plus this will be equal to this. So how much is it? 249.26 plus 0.5, which is 249.76. 249.76. Okay, might be so that you may I may just uh, cannot accommodate everything over here, but I'll try my best to actually fit it inside the screen. So therefore RL of 2 will be how much? RL of 1 plus rise is equal to 249.26 plus 0.5. It gives us 249.760. There you have your answer. The first two unknowns are now known. Now let's move to the second one. This has been sorted. Now the second one. We start again from freshly from here. We go somewhere over here and we see that there is a fall. It is already calculated for us. Don't worry. So there is one missing data somewhere over here. So what will be this? It is nothing but the previous RL plus or minus the rise or fall. Now you can see that this is actually under the fall. So this will be nothing but 249.76 minus this will be equal to this. So we actually write down the language in this fashion from 2 to 3. So RL of 3 will be how much? That is only unknown at 3, right? At 3 we have the only unknown as this is equal to, is it really so? So 1.755, 1.95, 0.195 actually is equal to RL of 1, sorry, RL of 2 minus fall. We have it over here. So RL of 2 is basically this minus this is nothing but this. So it is 249.760 minus how much is this? How much is the fall? 0.195. It's very difficult for me to actually instantaneously do the calculation for you since I do not have a calculator right now, but I'll solve it for you. So it's 5. This becomes 5. So it will be 4. I'm sorry. What am I doing? This is 5. So 7 becomes 6. 6 minus 1 is 5. 555 over here, and this one is 249.555. I may make mistakes since I'm doing a mental mathematics. So if I'm doing a mistake, please pardon me. I'm here to actually give you the idea, guide you through this. The calculation part is to be done by the calculator with the right set of data. I just want that my viewers understand how to find out the missing data. Now this is also sorted. Now you have to come till 4. At 4 we have, yes, we have a missing data over here. So how do you figure it out? So from 3 to 4. What do you have? We have a missing rise. That means from 3 to 4 the readings must go down. I told you if the readings are decreasing, that means there is a rise. So how much is the rise? How much is the rise? Rise is basically the difference in the reading. We have an intermediate side and we have a force side. And how much is the intermediate side over here? The intermediate side is 1.950 and we have a foresight which is 1.920, and it rounds up to 0.030. So how much is the rise over here? You have the rise as 0.030. I just messed up something over here. That's the beauty and that's the curse of gel pens. Anyway, so things to happen, not to worry. Rise have been sorted. As per the rise, we will get the RL also. Like I told always, this the previous RL plus or minus this one, any one of them available will be equal to this. Since it is rise, we will plus it. We will add to it. So therefore, the RL of what is the station? RL of 4 will be RL of 3 plus the rise in this case is equal to 249.555 plus 0.03 is equal to 249.585 meter, clean as water. And then we just simply write it over here, 249.585. Hopefully I'm making myself clear in this case. Next, we are dealing with 4 is done. So let's deal with the 5. 5, yes, we have a missing data over here. It's very simple. We already have to make the difference, but already it is given over here. The reading has decreased by 1.500. Yes, it has decreased by 1.500. So basically, the rise is 1.500. So the new RL will be 1.500 plus the old RL. So what we write in the language from 4 to 5. We have the RL of 5 is equal to RL of 4 plus the rise again. We have a rise at this point, which is nothing but this. So what is the RL of 4? It's 249.585 plus we have 1.5. So how much will it be? It will be 85. 5 plus 5 is 0 and 51. So we have the RL of 5 to be 251.085. See, slowly we are actually figuring out the missing data. Now let's come to the 6. Right, from 5 to 6. See, from 4 to 5 is done, now from 5 to 6. Now what do we not know over here? There is one reading which we do not know, but there is another helping reading which will help us in finding this out, right? Now what is basically rise? Rise is nothing but this difference, right? And since it is a rise, that means the reading has to decrease. I told you before, if the readings decrease, then only rise happens. Here rise has happened. It's a back calculation kind of a thing. Rise has happened, that means the reading is bound to decrease. How much is the rise? 1 meter. So how much it will decrease? The reading will decrease by 1 meter. So what is the new reading? 2.340 minus this. That is basically the thing. So what is rise? Rise is equal to the IS of 5 minus IS of 6. Now we know that rise, which is 1. 1 is equal to IS of 5 is 2.340 minus IS of 6. So therefore, IS of 6 will be is equal to 2.340 minus 1 is equal to 1.340 meter. So basically we have found out this to be as 1.340 meter. See, missing data is sorted. Correct? Now again at this line we have a missing data over here. Now we do not need this value because already the rise fall has been given. Use this value match it with the previous one and get the new one. So the rise has been by 1 meter from the previous, either say or from here 1 meter. So 251.085 plus 1 meter will be nothing but 252.085. So I'll write it over here. Therefore, RL of 6 is nothing but RL of 5 plus rise, which is 240, sorry, 251.085 plus 1. It's nothing but 252.085 meter. We have 252.085. Slowly and slowly we are sorting this missing data table. Fine. Again, from here, you in this sentence in at 7 we do not have any other missing data. We required this to find out this. If we do not have this, then we have to calculate it from somewhere over here. Now since we already have this, we do not need to look at this at 7. So already known to us, using this too, I can literally find out this. So it has fallen. That means this will reduce. This will reduce, and whatever will be this value must be less than this. By how much? By this much. So there you have there you basically have the thing. So from 6 to 7, you go. From 6 to 7 you already have an RL. The RL of 7 is nothing but RL of 6 minus the fall, because there is a fall from 6 to 7. When you go from 6 to 7, there has been a fall. So and by how much it fell? By 0.85 meter. So RL of 6 is nothing but 252.085 minus how much is the fall? 0.845. And there you have the data. How much? It's 0, 4 and 8 will be 4, 8 and 0 will be 2. This becomes 1. 251.240 meter. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm not using a calculator. 251.240 is the answer for this. Next, again, you go from 7 to 8. That means from this line to this line, from this to this. Now, I told you need the rise and fall. You need the rise or fall, any one of them. Already you have the rise in this case. So how much is the new RL? It is this RL plus this much amount of rise. That means this plus this will be whatever it is. Now you are going from 7 to 8. From 7 to 8. You see, you're slowly figuring out the thing. RL of 8 will be is equal to RL of 7 plus the rise, which is 251.240 as we have calculated from the previous, plus the rise, which is 0.275, which sums up to 5. 7 plus 4 is 11. 2 plus 2 is 4, but we have 1 in hand, so 5, and we have nothing over here. So 251.515 meter. Sorted. 251.515 meter. Now let's come back to this. Now you see, from here you do not have anything, because from here to here you either need a rise or a fall, right? So but you do not have anything over here. So how will you figure it out? How are you supposed to figure it out? Here is a very tricky situation. If your plan A does not work, look for the plan B. Now you see that from here to here there has been a rise. That means this and this are related with this value. I'll tell you again. This value, see, over here to here you have nothing. You have neither rise neither fall. So how will you determine by how much this value will be changing from here? But if you slightly widen your gaze, you will see that these and these must be interconnected, and there is a relationship between them. Whatever is the value, whatever is the value over here, the difference between this value and this value must be this. That is the reason why the rise is this from 9 to 10. So I actually have to write the 9 to 10 first before 8 to 9. Here is the tricky part. From 9 to 10. Here is the tricky part. I'm telling again, I am marking it with the red color so that there is no point in confusion. So what is the rise? Rise will be equal to this minus this. So is minus foresight. We already know how much is the rise, which is 1.650 is equal to is we do not know. Is is basically is at 9 and foresight at 10. Is at 9 we do not know. Minus foresight at 10, yes we know this one. So how much is the is at 9? It's nothing but this plus this. 1.895 plus 1.650, or is at 9 is, it's 5. 5 plus 9 is 14. 8 plus 6 is again it's 14. We have 1 in hand, so it will be 15, and this will be 3.545. We just sorted with a back calculation the is at 9, which is how much? 3.545. So in this case you have to go in this fashion before you go from this to this. Now since you already have this and you also have this, so using this you can find out if there is a rise or there is a fall. And if you do not find out how much is the rise fall, how will you find this out? You see that the reading has increased. If the reading increases, then it must be a fall. Reading increases, fall. Reading decreases, rise. So how much is the fall over here? There is missing data over here, but there is not stated in the question, but still we need to find this out to actually figure this out. So how much is the fall? Now you come from 8 to 9. So how much will be the fall? The fall is uh, it's basically the is of 9 minus is of 8. Somebody may say, sir, is of 8 minus 9, that is also done. But if you do this, then you will find that the answer is coming in negative. So if the answer is actually coming in negative, that means it is already automatically fall. Since I'm writing it over here, the difference in the value, so it is automatically assumed that whatever you take from here must be subtracted from the previous. It's just the mod value, okay? No need to worry about that. It's 3.545 minus 1.575 is equal to 5 minus 5 becomes 0, 7 minus 4 becomes 7, 9, and 3 minus 1 is 1.970. This one has been the fall over here, which was not mentioned, which was not stated, but still we need to mention it over here. 1.970, because if you do not know this, you cannot figure this out. This minus the fall will be this. RL at 9 will be RL of 8 minus 4 is equal to 251.515 minus 1.970, which is 574.95 is 65, and we have 249.545 meter. 249.545 meter. Now come back to this at 10. The language has changed a little bit. At 10, what do you have? You have one previous RL. You already have a new rise. So using this, you can literally find out this. It has risen. That means the RL of the new one has to be greater than this. 249.545 plus 165. So RL is equal to RL of 9 plus rise is equal to RL of 9, which is right now we have figured it out, 249.545 plus 1.650. This is how much? 5. 5 plus 4 is 9. 6 plus 5 is 11. 1, 2, 251.595 again. I'm again telling, if I'm making any calculation mistake, please pardon me, because I do not have any calculator right in front of me. I wish that you do the same in your free time. Practice it with the calculator on so you get the right result. So here we have the second last RL, which is 251.195. And now we are just remaining with the last two, this one and this one. Again, you see that here is one data, this is one setup, there is one rise. So using these two, I can figure it out, something which we have done over here. So there is a rise, there is a rise, there is a data. So at from 10 to 11, there you have it. From 10, I'm sorry, from 10 to 11, we see something, 10 to 11. So there has been a rise. That means this minus this has to be this. Rise is equal to backside at 10 minus foreside at 11 is equal to, or sorry, rise. How much is the rise? Already we have the rise over here, 0.750 is equal to backside of 10, which is unknown to me, minus foreside of 11, which is 1.350, or backside of 10 will be this plus this, 1.350 plus 0.750, which gives us 5 plus 5 is 10, 3 plus 7 is 11, 2.100. So the backside is again known to me, it is 2.100. I'm sorry, it will be 2. Yeah, it's 2.100 only. And finally, we have this. Again, the same old thing. Previous RL plus or minus the rise and fall. So in this case, it is rise. So this plus this will be equal to this. RL at 11 will be RL at 10 plus rise is equal to 251.195 plus 0.750. This plus this is equal to this. Which gives us, it's 5. 5 plus 9 is 14. 7 plus 1 is 8. Again, we have 1 in hand and we have nothing much. We literally sorted this numerical in 30 minutes. I know I took some time because I have explained so many different things. I have used or done the calculation without a calculator. So you, with a practice, you can literally do this within 15 to 20 minutes. It's my guarantee if you practice it in the right way. So this is how you actually find out the missing data. You figure out the missing data from any such table whatsoever. So you just have to take care. You just have to uh, chalk out what are the strategies. You can have to, you can see that I have made the setup. It was not there previously. If you rewind this video to the very first minute, you will see that I have, this was a blank thing. What I did is I picturized this thing to be different setups. Like I said, picturization just solves 95% of the problem. The remaining is just about your calculator. So that's it for this session. 30 minutes of intense numerical solving, missing data numerical for leveling operations in civil engineering. Hopefully this video you will find it for your find it beneficial. So thank you so much for being patient and listening all the way. Have a very great time ahead.